All right, so let's talk about the Justin Bieber live stream that has basically taken over the internet for the past few days. He went live, performed a song, and wow, it was raw, it was emotional, and it has left millions of us asking some really serious questions. We're talking about his marriage, his past, his whole state of mind. Okay, let's get right into this. So, this is the big question, right? Why did this one moment blow up so much? What exactly happened during this live stream that caused this massive, massive reaction? Well, it's a mix of things: unreleased music, a very famous ex girlfriend, and a performance that honestly felt way too personal for a public broadcast. We are going to unpack every single layer of this. So, to really get the full picture here, you need the context. And the context is pretty wild. This whole thing went down during his wife, Hailey Bieber's birthday week. But instead of, being at a party or something, Justin decided to set up a live stream from his warehouse. He's surrounded by his crew, and he just decides to share some new music. It was a choice that, as we now know, had some huge, huge repercussions. And this right here, this is the main event. This was not some casual, fun jam session. Justin performed a brand new, totally unreleased song. And from the very first note, you could just feel the tone. It was so deeply emotional, so personal, which, of course, instantly grabbed the attention of every single person watching. Okay, let's break down exactly what people were seeing that made this moment just so powerful. It wasn't just the song itself, it was how he delivered it. People saw him visibly crying, like tears were there. His voice sounded so strained, cracking with emotion, and he wasn't just singing to the room, he was looking right into the camera, performing directly to the audience, to us. And the whole time, his friends, his production team, they're just sitting there watching. This wasn't a private moment of vulnerability, it was a public spectacle. So, of course, the internet immediately turned into a team of forensic analysts. And the very first piece of evidence they went after? The lyrics. This is where the story really pivots from just an emotional performance to a full-blown controversy, because it taps into years and years of fan theories about his famous ex, Selena Gomez. So let's look at the actual words that fueled all this fire. And there it is. That's the one. This is the single line that just set everything ablaze. I mean, for a married man to sing, "I'm stuck in a relationship and it isn't you," it is incredibly direct. You can just imagine how fast people connected that line to his current marriage with Hailey and his long, very public history with Selena. It's basically a lyrical bombshell. But look, it wasn't just that one shocking line. The entire song is kind of built around these themes. He's singing about feeling trapped, about questioning why he stays, why he can't leave. There's this intense feeling of longing for a past love. And then, and this is a big one, there are specific references to being 18 years old. Now, for anyone who's followed his career, that's a key time period. It was when his on-again, off-again thing with Selena Gomez was at its absolute peak. So for a lot of fans, this didn't feel like subtext. It felt like a confession. Now, this might be the most debated piece of evidence from the entire stream. A lot of people have listened to the audio over and over, and they're convinced that at one of the most emotional points in the song, you can hear him whisper the name Selena. Now, is it real? Or is it just people hearing what they expect to hear? We don't know for sure, but that claim just added a whole other layer of gasoline to the fire online. And while that whisper is definitely up for debate, his history isn't. And this historical context is exactly why people are so quick to jump on these theories. This is not the first time he's written music about Selena. Not at all. A while back, he went on The Ellen Show and straight up confirmed that at least 3 songs from a past album were directly about her. So there is a clear, documented precedent for him doing this, which makes all the current speculation feel that much more believable to his audience. Okay, so this brings us to a really crucial part of the whole controversy, this major disconnect between what Justin has been saying publicly and what he actually did during this performance. Just a few weeks before this, he was also on a live stream, but he had a very, very different message, which makes this recent event seem all the more contradictory. And this slide just lays it out so clearly. It's night and day. In one corner, you've got Justin in a recent live stream giving this almost sermon-like talk, saying that if you even think about another woman with lust, it's the same as committing adultery. And then in the other corner, you have the practice, him on a public live stream, tearfully singing a song about being stuck in his current relationship while apparently longing for his ex. This perceived hypocrisy is really at the absolute core of the public backlash. So, as you can imagine, the internet had a lot to say. The reaction was immediate, it was everywhere, and people were deeply, deeply divided. This wasn't just some small fan debate. It became a massive topic of conversation on TikTok, on Twitter, everywhere. This chart does a great job of showing us the different camps that formed. The biggest group, about 40% of people, saw this as just deeply disrespectful to his wife, Hailey. Full stop. Then you've got another big chunk, 30%, who saw it more sympathetically, maybe as a genuine cry for help from someone who's struggling. About 20% were way more cynical, thinking it was all a calculated publicity stunt for new music. And then a smaller group, 10%, just thinks it's art and everyone is overreacting. Public opinion is completely fractured. And this comment right here really captures that feeling of whiplash and frustration that so many people are feeling. For years, the message from the couple has been, leave us alone, we're happy, move on from the past. But then an action like this completely contradicts that message. It leaves people feeling confused and, like this person, even wondering if the hurt is intentional. And we really have to come back to the timing of it all. The fact that this entire saga unfolded during Hailey's birthday week just made the situation 1,000 times worse in the court of public opinion. What might have been seen as just an emotional moment from an artist was instead framed as an act of profound insensitivity, happening at the one time that should have been all about celebrating his wife. So where does this leave everybody? The live stream is over, but the questions it brought up are definitely still hanging in the air. This incident has created this really complex, messy situation with no easy answers, not for the people involved, and certainly not for the public watching it all play out. So let's just boil this all down to its most basic conflict. First, you have a husband publicly sharing what seems to be emotional turmoil over a past relationship. Second, that action puts his wife in a really difficult, very public position. And third, that leaves all of us, the audience, to try and figure out the intent versus the actual impact. It's that classic question, where does artistic expression end and where does real-world hurt begin? And that brings us to our final lingering question. What was this really? Was it a carefully orchestrated performance designed to create buzz and sell a new album? Or was it something more raw, an unfiltered, genuine moment of someone breaking down on camera, a true cry for help broadcast for the entire world to see? The truth is, we'll probably never know for sure. But the debate itself tells us a whole lot about just how complicated fame, love, and art have become in our digital world.